7, 6.
Coming up on Channel 8 News, Kansas State University will be bidding adieu to a prominent campus leader.
And next, Mother Nature and man alike set fire to the plains of mid-America.
Juan Cisneros here at the Kansas State Gardens, where we'll be talking about how they're preparing for the spring weather. Stay tuned for Channel 8 News.
It's KKSU-LD, covering Manhattan, Riley County, and the Flint Hills, broadcasting in high definition from Kansas State University. You're watching Channel 8 News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 8 News. I'm Nicholas Patterson.
And I'm Catherine Curtis. Kansas State University will say goodbye to the current campus president after the school year is over. President Kirk Schultz has been the university president.
Coming up, officials are asking for help to keep the Konza Prairie open to the public.
Plus, LGBT members are looking for support against discrimination in Manhattan.
We're optimistic at this point that we'll have a favorable income so that there will be equality for all groups that are in need and deserving of those.
And next, some Kansans may be happy to hear that the annual clock confusion may end once and for all.
This is KKSU-LD.
No more than I was before. Things are going to happen. I knew that whenever I came to Prague, that something could happen. And the fact that it did happen in Brussels is a little bit alarming, but I feel like, it could happen in Kansas City or Manhattan just as much as it could happen in Prague.
What's the security like on the train? Do you use trains or subway to get to school or what?
I live right by the university, but I do frequently use trams and everything to get to school or to get kind of around the city. And ever since the terror attacks, I've noticed a lot more of a police presence just around public transport in general.
Final question for you. What's the atmosphere like in Prague in regards to what just happened in Brussels? Like, what's the feel? What are people saying?
For me, mostly it hasn't really changed. Nobody's really brought it up. The fact that there was a terror attack, if I hadn't been watching the news, then I wouldn't have pretty much known that it happened.
All right, well, I think that's all I got for you for now. Appreciate you taking the time.
No problem.
Thanks for that interview, John. Although the chances of getting caught up in an attack are extremely unlikely, it's still important to remain vigilant abroad and locally, since Fort Riley is seen as a potential terror target.
Well, the smell of spring is not the only thing filling the air in Kansas. A wildfire that started in northern Oklahoma and spread all the way to Lake City, Kansas, has burned over 350,000 acres of land. It is the largest wildfire recorded in Kansas history. Clouds of smoke rolled into Riley County earlier this week due to the Anderson Creek wildfire in southern Kansas. Although the Anderson Creek fire was out of control, Kansas farmers often use fire as a way to prepare their fields for the upcoming planting season. I talked with a farmer who explained this process of pasture burning. During the months of March and April, fires covered the Flint Hills landscape. Farmers and landowners have to be cautious about the risk of wildfires.
If you talk to fire departments in the Flint Hills, this is one time of the year they're really busy. So our concerns with, of course, wildfires getting away. And we just had that down in southern Kansas and northern Oklahoma.
For a good burning day, we need enough wind speed to achieve a complete burning. But too much wind may become, we raise some safety issue. So we need to be cautious to select a very good burning day.
You got to watch wind direction, the dryness of the ground, how tall the grass is. You got to have a burn permit. You got to mow around it, and then we do what's called a wet line. Put some soap in with the water so it sticks to it. Throw a wet line down so it'll burn right up to it. And take a torch and light it and follow it down. Somebody follows it up, putting it out.
The burning process helps maintain and promote growth.
Help take care of the weeds, kill the small cedars. We basically get ours cut for prairie hay.
It seems to give the prairie a charge, a recharge. And so that's really what we see after we burn.
We're taking you outside to one of the most colorful places on the K-State campus.
And if gardening isn't your thing, we may have the remedy for springtime boredom.
Keep it here on Channel 8 News.
Land Grant University, entrusted with serving the needs of our communities and world through the nation's most important research and testing. We don't cater to what's popular. We come together to find out what's next, what will save lives and better the world. Since 1863, our values haven't changed, but our methods have. What defines a land-grant university? Community. Progress. You.
I'm Ngọc Trân from Đà Lạt, Vietnam.
I'm Raphael from St. Mary's, Kansas.
Mình nói cả tiếng Việt và tiếng Anh.
I only speak one language, unless you count Pig Latin. Oh, you don't? Okay, one language.
I'm new to K-State and want to experience everything I can in Manhattan.
I'm hungry. Do you want to go eat some ice cream?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
How do you say Wabash in your language?
What's a Wabash?
The K-State Gardens are designed to be as educational as they are beautiful.
Right now, Channel 8 News reporter Juan Cisneros is live at the gardens talking with experts about what's blooming this spring season.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at the KSU Gardens with Scott McElwain, the director. Scott, what preparations do you guys take differently now that the spring weather's coming?
Well, we don't necessarily take very many different preparations. We just need to tackle things a little bit earlier. So we're finding that we're about 2 weeks earlier with the plant growth here at the KSU Gardens. And as you can see, this flowering crabapple, Professor Springer above us is as well as our spring blooming shrubs, spring blooming bulbs. We've got tulips and daffodils up. Our crocus are well done with their blooming period. And so, as far as things to see in the gardens, there's a lot to see right now. We're still in the preparation of cutting back last year's perennials. We found that our dormant pruning is a little bit past us. Everything's pretty early. So what is the best time to come and visit the gardens? Well, as far as the best time, that depends on your preference. I mean, the spring is beautiful. This is the perfect time to come visit after the winter. And so you can come and visit the KSU Gardens
Thanks, Scott. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for that, Juan. If you're looking for a springtime activity, you can stop and smell the roses at the K-State Gardens. Open dawn to midnight, Sunday through Saturday.
If you're looking for something more to do in this beautiful weather, look no further than the Kansas River.
Last week, we told you how to rent kayaks and canoes from the K-State Rec Center. Today, we'll give you the rundown on where and how you can safely use them.
The Kansas River Trail runs along the side of Manhattan, only a small portion of its total 173 miles. It's a national water trail system, and its conservation is dedicated to recreation and wildlife. It offers scenic and recreation opportunities such as kayaking, wildlife viewing, fishing, or just floating along on a pool toy of your choice. Hundreds of people across Manhattan will float the Kansas River this spring and summer, and some residents camp overnight on numerous sandbars. If you're up to the challenge, make sure to take your trash when you go, and make sure to put your personal belongings in a dry place.
Wow, it sounds like a good time. I might just join you. Just be sure to know the do's and don'ts before you go out.
The public can canoe on them.
When you're that close to nature, you're not encountering.
That means the Kansas River, because it does flow through an area that has a fair number of people living along it, has become a very popular destination for canoeing and for kayaking. And so there are now places that have been put in, a launching site where you can go and launch a canoe from there. And there's some other ones downriver from there as well. And this has been an attempt to get people to canoe and enjoy the river, to see the wildlife that exists along the river, to see a different part of the state that you don't see from a car window.
Floating the Kansas River really sounds like a fun way to spend this weekend.
No kidding, and if you go, I might just join you. Just be sure you know the do's and don'ts before you go out. When you're that close to nature, you might encounter some questionable animals. And Kansas is known for some quicksand and some of its sandbars.
Thanks for that, Nick. I didn't know that. A local mother wants to warn families about the dangers of unexpected medical conditions. We will have that conversation next. And later, we'll take a good look at this week's local weather forecast with Jace Mills.
What ignites inspiration? It's sparked in every victory, every banner carried high. It's lit in traditions that bind each generation together. It's found in the people who push us to never settle and who serve those without a voice. It's iconic. It's groundbreaking. It's a new generation of world changers and answer seekers. What ignites inspiration? Tradition, passion, you.
Hi, I'm Tunde from Lagos, Nigeria.
And I'm Ronnie from Spring Hill, Kansas.
During festivals, I wear my kaftan.
On K-State game days, I wear purple and a foam finger.
I've never been to an American football game.
I've never been out of this country. You want to go tailgating this weekend?
Sure.
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Would you happen to have a purple kaftan?
Only for game days.
Powerful ideas are sparked by a natural curiosity. It could begin with a single seed or a brilliant ray of light. At Kansas State University, it begins with research that advances the world, where science and creativity meet. At Kansas State University, powerful ideas begin with you.
A rare condition causing the death in toddlers is an unpredictable and rare tragedy, and for some, a parent's worst nightmare. Out of every 100,000 U.S. toddlers, about 1.5 die without explanation. It's known as sudden unexplained death in childhood, or Sudsy. Channel 8's Kenya Mills is here with a Fort Riley mom on a mission to raise awareness for Sudsy. Kenya?
Thanks, Nick. Sudsy is the death of a child over the age of 12 months, which remains unexplained after a thorough investigation and autopsy. Here with us today is Eden Briscoe. Hi. An Army wife and mom from Fort Riley. Now, it was Easter Eve 2015, and Eden and her husband, David, tucked their son, a 15-month-old, into their crib. His name was Christopher, and the next morning, you found him lifeless.
I did.
What happened?
We put him to bed. We even high-fived because we were going to go downstairs and watch recordings of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And we were pumped. Our kids were asleep. All was well. Easter was the next day. Went in to get him up to open his Easter basket, and he was actually face down in the prone position. And I even thought, wow, this is so cute. I should take a picture, you know. I went up to pat his bottom and sing his name, and he was cold and hard. So, and there was nothing medically wrong with him. So we called 911 immediately and went through those steps.
And now, there's such a condition as SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome, and Sudsy is sudden unexplained death in childhood. What is the difference between those two?
So both SIDS and Sudsy are both rulings of exclusion. So after a thorough medical exam and an autopsy have been performed, and no further explanation can be found, they have to diagnose either SIDS or Sudsy. So SIDS is 12 months and under, and Sudsy is over the age of 12 months, all the way up to 17 years old.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Eden. And Eden is actually holding a fundraising event with the Sudsy Foundation. She's holding a fundraiser at Little Apple Lanes in Manhattan, right?
Yes, Little Apple Lanes, 12 to 3. Come out and join us.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called Christopher's Pins for a Purpose. And if you would like more information, you can log on to sudsy.org/Christopher's Crusaders. Thank you. And now back to you at the anchor's desk.
Thank you, Kenya. With spring rolling in this past week, the weather has been quite unpredictable. However, it seems as though things are starting to calm down. Our extremely fashionable weatherman, Jace Mills, is in the studio, here to tell us about what we can expect for this upcoming week. Jace?
Thanks, Nick. Pretty mild temperatures all across the country. We start in Boston, 51, 79 in Miami. We move out to Seattle, 59 in Seattle, 64 in Los Angeles, a little closer to home, 75 in Dallas, 67 in Kansas City. If we move it to the Kansas map, we can see that Liberal, we've got 77, a little warmer today, 66 in Hayes, and then 66 in Wichita, 69 in Kansas City, and moving in Manhattan, 66 today. Moving into the 5-day forecast, we take a look at, we've got the 77 degrees on Wednesday, storms and low of 42. Moving into Thursday, things start to clear up a bit, high of 64, low of 36. Sun starts to peek out again on Friday with a high of 55, low of 32. On Saturday, things really start to warm up. The sun comes in, 71, 80 on Sunday. Back to you at the anchor desk.
Thanks, Jace. And now coming up, a local track star has her eyes set on the future Olympics.
And next, sportswoman Liz Heath is in the studio talking all things sports. Keep it here on Channel 8 News.
I'm Kathleen from Meiningen, Germany.
I'm Ginger from Overland Park, Kansas.
I've traveled to London and saw the Parliament, studied in Mexico City, spent the summer in Austria, went skiing in the Alps. Oh, and I visited the Eiffel Tower in Paris.
Well, I've been to the world's largest ball of twine.
Can we go?
Of course!
Become an international buddy today and develop new friendships and experience different cultures.
Up next, the world's deepest hand-dug well.
Is it near the Grand Canyon?
Kenya, Africa. A baby elephant is trapped in a waterhole. Researchers rush to the rescue, and a 400-pound baby elephant and its agitated, dangerous mother are finally reunited. One of those researchers is KState alumnus Mark Sowers. While at KState, he used telemetry to study bison on the Konza Prairie Biological Station, a skill he now uses to study and help elephants, his lifelong dream. That's the Wildcat way.
I am an artist. I'm an explorer.
A parent.
Working full-time.
I am the future. I'm finishing my bachelor's degree.
Getting my master's.
Becoming professionally certified. I'm a student. I'm on my way.
And I am global.
Kansas State University's global campus is your connection to learn online, develop professionally, and connect globally. Go online for more information about K-State's global campus.
Winter season sports have wrapped up, meaning conference play is in full swing.
To get us caught up, Channel 8 sports reporter Liz Heath is here with more. Liz?
Thanks, guys. Two-time All-American Bob Boozer is part of the 11th class inducted into the National Collegiate Basketball Hall of Fame. The third person with K-State ties to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, Boozer will join Rolando Blackman and his former coach Tex Winter. Boozer played for K-State from 1956 to 1959. During his 3 years with the program, K-State held a 62-15 record, which included the 1958 Final Four and back-to-back Big 7, Big 8 titles in 1958 and 1959. His 77-game career at K-State, Boozer averaged a double-double with 21.9 points on 44% shooting, with 10.7 rebounds per game. Boozer passed away in 2012, but after 60 years, his achievements still rank among K-State's top 10 school records, including all-time marks for free throws made and attempted. Induction ceremonies are set for Friday, November 18th at the Arvis Bank Theater in Kansas City. The Batcats hosted number 19 ranked Oklahoma State this past weekend. After losing the first 2 games of the series, the Wildcats attempted to break their losing streak on Saturday against the Cowboys. Fast forward to the 8th inning, the Wildcats down 2, but the walk with the bases loaded, Danny Krause cuts the deficit in half, 4-3. 2 batters later, a little confusion on this pitch as it appears to hit Michael Smith. Did it? Yes, no, it did. The game is now tied up at 4. Later in the inning, KSU squanders a chance to take the lead with the bases loaded on a ground out to second base. Top of the 10th inning, the Cowboys have the bases loaded and Sacrifice Fly scores 1 run heading into the bottom of the 10th. The Wildcats leave a runner stranded on third to end the game on a ground out to shortstop. OSU completes the sweep of the Wildcats as KSU is now 0-3 in the Big 12 play. The Wildcats will host the University of Nebraska-Omaha in Manhattan Tuesday night at 6:35 p.m. It's been quite a season for both senior track and fielders Akila Jones and Danny Winters. Both are national champions in the 2016 NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship. I had a chance to sit down with both of them to talk about their success and get their thoughts as they kick off the outdoor season. Can you kind of tell us about, like, when you got that throw and the moment you hit that jump, what was it like being in that moment knowing you had made it?
After you. My reaction to the 6'6", which is 1.98 meters, I was like, did I just jump that? Did that really just happen, like, at the NCAA? Like, I just qualified on top of qualifying for the Olympics. So it was just like, what? Like, I didn't believe in my strength, but my coach knew before, but when I jumped, it was, like, surreal. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. I had spent the time before that throw talking to myself and kind of trying to hype myself up. But then when I threw it, it was a shock. How far it was a shock to me. And then I had to sit and wait through the whole next round for everyone to throw and trying to keep myself calm but pumped up at the same time so I wasn't freaking out. But I just assumed that somebody would jump me and I would have to throw again farther.
Looking ahead, you guys are national champions now, and you've got the whole outdoor season and the Olympics ahead of you. So what are your plans kind of going forward from here?
Well, going forward, the biggest goal is Olympics. That's at the top, but, you know, we have to go through all the meets of the season. We still have outdoor conference where we're both national champions. There's going to be a lot on our back, you know, to produce a lot of points for the team. So, you know, just continue to train hard, and we're going to produce big throws, big jumps, and lots of points.
All right, and once again, thank you guys for taking time out of your busy schedules to talk to us, and good luck moving forward in the future.
Thanks.
You. These two will begin their quest for more gold medals this Friday in California during the UCLA Legends Invitational. That's it for sports this week. Back to you at the anchor desk.
Thank you, Liz. Coming up, we'll take a quick look at the state legislative actions possibly affecting K-State's religious community.
And later, we'll have a final look at our weather forecast.
Around here, school pride isn't just some slogan on a t-shirt. It's the spirit that comes from understanding we are stronger when we're together. That's the essence of KState Proud, a nationally recognized student-led fundraising campaign. In just 6 years, KState Proud has helped raise more than $500,000 to help students who need it most and appreciate it best. Think of it as Philanthropy 101. KState Proud. It's just one more way the Kansas State family treats one another, well, like family. Where there's a Wildcat, there's a way. Class, study. Class, eat. Play, play, play. Study. Class, chill. Class, eat, study, play. study. Sometimes it seems there just aren't enough hours in the day at our 3 campuses, so you have to make every minute count. Especially those precious first few. That's why Kansas State alum Herbert Diamond invented the snooze alarm, a dorm room fixture. Because even when you can't wait to get started, sometimes it's nice to wait to get started. Where there's a wildcat, there's a way.
A new Senate bill that affects public universities in Kansas has caused a bit of a stir. Last week, Kansas Governor Sam Brownback signed into law a new bill allowing college campus faith-based groups to turn away those who don't hold the group's sincere religious beliefs. Kansas Representative John Whitmore supported the bill, stating, "Colleges and universities must treat religious speech by students the same as non-religious speech by students, and the school may not censor student speech or activities simply because school administrators do not like the student's viewpoint." Samuel Edwards, a member of Kansas State Student Senate, says he does not believe the Kansas government represented the universities well after student senates at Kansas State University, KState, and Wichita State University openly opposed the bill.
Obviously, with acts like that and then just kind of fully disregarding Wichita State, KU, and K-State student senates, I think they honestly send a message that we don't care about your voice and we think we know better, which is kind of concerning because it is a bill that directly impacts us and the groups we're allowed to fund.
Student musicians performed a variety of musical acrobatics at the jazz concert last Wednesday in Forum Hall. 2 bands performed in the hour-long concert: the Concert Jazz Ensemble, under the direction of Gordon Lewis, and the Lab Jazz Ensemble, led by Dr. Wayne Goins, Director of Jazz Ensembles. The event was sponsored by the Tau chapter of Phi Mu Alpha Sinophia fraternity. Recordings of the concert are available from the Brown Bear Sound. If you're looking to catch the next concert from the music department, head down to Forum Hall next month for a big band concert on Wednesday, April 27th at 7:30 p.m. And now we are joined at the anchor desk with our fashionable weatherman, Jace Mills. Hey Jace, how's it going?
Going well, Nick. I was going to let you know that we've got some nice days coming up. So we've got to get through a couple of rainy, maybe not quite as warm, but a little bit better than the snow we had next week. 80 degrees on Saturday, so it might be a good day to get out to the Kanza or go to Sunset Zoo, but get outside for sure.
Yeah, those sound like all great plans. I myself have a pet lizard named Sabretooth. Maybe take him out. He needs some fresh air to bask in that nice sun this weekend.
Yeah, get some vitamin D.
Yes, sir.
How about you?
Hopefully the wind isn't as breezy as it has been. But, you know, did you see the blow up on social media about the wildfire and everything going on with there?
Yeah, it should definitely, this cooler weather, some moisture should help.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks, guys.
Well, thank you very much for watching Channel 8 News. We'll see you next week.
Be sure to check out our Facebook and Twitter at KSU Channel 8 News.
Thanks for watching.
This is Channel 8 News.